If you want the best gameplay for 2K26, whether it be Universe Mode, My GM, Exhibition, any offline experience, then follow these sliders. Starting off with the Legend difficulty, coming down to the minigames, I keep the minigame for the pin and submission on Rapid. It's a personal preference though, some people like the timed, it makes sense, it gets harder down the stretch. Trading blows and chain wrestling, another personal preference, I keep them on. Trading blows specifically, I have a phenomenal slider setting for it, the perfect one. We'll go over that in a few minutes. Rope break for automatic, I keep it off. I think it's best at off because it happens just way too much. Anytime someone's near the ropes for a pin, it'll be an automatic rope break. It's really annoying. You can still do the manual rope breaks when you're being pinned if you're near the ropes. So that's good as well. Auto reversing for ground attacks, keep that off. They are so annoying, man. If you could do like one, maybe two moves to someone on the ground, and the third, whether it's the AI or even you, it's automatically reversed. It just makes no sense. It's a dumb setting, honestly, so keep it off. Then for the run-ins, it's personal preference. I keep player payback and off. Blood, I keep off for the most part. I change it to on sometimes. When I turn it on, it's only for special match types, you know, a Hell in a Cell, street fight, cage match, anything non-normal, I'll keep blood on for that. But otherwise, I keep it off just because it's too easy for you or the AI, or if you're fighting another user, for them to bleed very quickly, and just makes it unrealistic if you want to do it for like universe mode. But honestly, if you're just doing it for exhibition, keep it on if that's personal preference. But generally, special matches, keep it on. Otherwise, keep it off. The stun, I hate the graphic, I keep it off. Danger, I hate it, keep it off. Subtitles off. Tutorial tips, keep those off. Instant recovery, it's personal preference. I keep it on. Same with the possum attack and possum pin, just because I feel like you can use it at random points to really make the match more dynamic, more fun, to have that, you know, instant recovery kind of option, and these like quick possum attacks, quick possum pins really change up the flow of the match on the spot. Ring escape, another controversial one. I see a lot of people say, you know, keep it off. Honestly, I like to keep it on, just as long as you have the settings and the sliders later on for it, tone down so the AI is not doing it too much. Tag team interruption debuff, obviously keep that on, or otherwise it's pretty much unplayable. Underground spectators, keep it on. Match star actions, I love these. Best addition to the game, honestly, for universe mode. I love to keep it on. Heading over to presentation. Superstar HUD, I like to keep it off. It's a personal preference for me. I just don't want a bunch of stuff on my screen. But obviously you cannot see, you know, if you have a finisher or, you know, a signature move. So personal preference, if you want to be able to see that kind of thing, keep Superstar HUD on. Control help match rating, I keep it off as well. Same reason. I don't think there's a real reason to have it on to begin with. Reversal prompts, I will keep these on. It makes sense to have it on just so you know when you're reversing. Display referee counts. If you're someone who, you know, plays the gameplay audio all the time, you can turn it off because you can obviously hear the refs say the count. For me, sometimes I'm vibing to music in the background of my gameplay, so I like to keep it on just so I'm aware of what the count is. Run in and breakout HUD, I keep that on, but it depends. Like, if I already know I'm going to do a run in and breakout within a universe mode match, then I'm going to keep it off because I know it's coming, but sometimes I like to keep it on if I'm just going with the flow on the spot, maybe want to use it. Entrance camera HUD, keep this off. It's the annoying thing at the bottom left of the screen that tells you all the controls for the camera stuff. Entrance interaction HUD, so if you don't know, it's the new thing where you can do the face and heel thing. You can do the pyro on the stage or in the ring. If you don't know the correct button combinations for each of them, then I would say keep it on auto or manual. But for me, I already memorized it, so I keep it disabled just so it's, once again, another thing that's not cluttering my screen. Post-match replay, I keep it on. It's so much better this year. You still get some weird things where you get like a random pin as a highlight in the replay, but overall, it's not a bunch of just random nonsensical moves. It's a handful of moves from the replay, and most of them make sense and are pretty good. It actually makes sense to keep on, so I like to keep it on. Camera shakes, keep that off. This is annoying and ridiculous. Camera cuts, I like to keep camera cuts on. For big moments, I keep most frequently. Pins and submissions, sometimes. Same thing goes for dive attacks, I keep it on sometimes. I used to have it on often, but I think sometimes is kind of a better fit for this year's game. And for taunts, I also like to do sometimes. I think at some point last year I didn't have it on often, but you get a weird camera angle sometimes where sometimes the opponent will get up and you just don't realize it, and you kind of get screwed over once your taunt ends. So I like it on sometimes, just for a good mix of both. And then for match action camera, I use that as most frequently. Camera panning, I keep that off. I didn't get a great time to like have a chance to test this, but I know last year camera panning caused some issues, so I like to keep it off. Ringside camera cuts, also like to keep it off. Super finisher, I keep that off as well. Vibration, so annoying. Keep that off. It's so annoying, man. The trigger effect, keep it on. I don't really see an impact. I keep it on or off. Spectate control display, I will keep that on just because it's really easy to click the left trigger to turn it off. And I don't know everything by, everything in my head with the spectate controls. So if I don't know it all memorized, then I keep it on. Watermark image, I keep it off. It's another thing to not clutter your screen. However, in universe mode, if you want to download, like a Netflix logo or like a USA logo for SmackDown, those kinds of things, then I would say maybe keep it on, but it's in the wrong spot. It's always in that bottom right corner, it's in the top right. So for that reason, that's another reason why I keep it off, just because, if it's not in the right spot, it's not realistic. It doesn't really make sense to have. Versal feedback, if it's early or late, I keep it off just because I honestly don't care to know if I'm early or late. I kind of know I'm supposed to be clicking it to begin with. Pause and pin prompt, I'll keep that on. Same with the attack and instant recovery, just so I know when I have it available to me. And same with the ring escape. Weapon pickup outlines, terrible, worst addition I've seen in my life in terms of presentation. Keep that off. Now over to balancing. So I mostly like the standing strike grapple and even the ground strike and grapple in comparison to last year. However, standing strikes should be happening less in real life. Standing strikes are generally not reversed too often. It's more so to wear down your opponent, setting up for a grapple or bigger moves, which in that case, I want the grapples to be reversed at a higher rate because you want to be able to, stop those bigger moves, have the AI stop them, as the user stop them too. And then over to AI finisher, I keep that up to 70. The reason behind that is in so many matches, you see a finisher at least one time really be reversed. I feel like at 50, it's just not enough. So 70 keeps it at a pretty fair rate. You can even put it to 75 or 80 if you want, especially for PLEs, because PLE matches generally go longer. So if you're not hitting every finisher, hitting less finishers at a consistent rate, it'll make the match go longer. So for PLEs, bump to 75 or 80 if you want. Foreign object, I actually want to bump this down to 40. I meant to do that beforehand. In real life, you don't see foreign objects, the chairs, the tables, etc., be countered too often. So 40 feels like a better rate for it. Grab rate 50, combo breaker rate 50, AI combo, bump to 55. I think I had it 60 or maybe 65 last year. 55 feels a little bit better for this game this year, so I keep it there. Submission rate, once again, submissions are just not happening enough. I keep it at 60. Dive rate slightly down to 45. Springboard stays at 50. Grapple rate goes up to 60. Strike rate goes up to 55. Limb targeting up to 55. And honestly, I might bump up to 60 in my next set. I'll have to come back in like a month or so for my next set. Running attack down to 45. Dodge rate down to 35. The dodging is just so annoying. It happens way too often, man. Trading blows down to 30. So if you check out my universe mode videos, I've had it at 35. That's where I've been testing it. However, it's just slightly too much at 35. And it makes sense because I feel like they just haven't changed it at all since last year. 30 was what I had it on for my last year's set, my final last year's set. So it's the same as the finals last year into the first slider set of this year. All the run-ins, I don't like the run-ins. I'm going to be honest about that, so I keep it at 0. You can just leave it at base game of like 2, I think it is for each one if you want. Referee downtime, 100 out of 100. If the ref being bumped, I want him or her down so I can, maybe do some heal stuff, grab a share while the ref's down, use that kind of thing. Superstar downtime, I keep at 50. Same with the window, same with the signature and finisher reversals. Stamina cost and stamina recovery rate, 40 and 55. The reason for that is the reversal system is a little bit annoying. I honestly don't hate it too much, as some people do. So if you bump this down to 40 and 55, then what that does is it makes it a little bit longer before you get hit with that purple circle where you can't reverse. So it gives you as the user a little bit more leeway into how much you can reverse and how much stamina you have to get to before you can't really reverse anymore. Then the rest of these I keep at 50. None of them really do much, to be honest. The base game for all these are probably pretty solid to begin with. I mean, maybe the drag escape you can bump down a little bit to 40, but it's just minuscule at that point, the changes. So I keep all these at 50. Then over to the advanced section. So it's the same as last year pretty much. So 30, 50, 70 for the previous finisher influence. So you don't know what these are yet. The reverse finisher recent is just your first time you're hitting a finisher. The previous finisher means once you hit your second finisher. Previous finisher 3+ means once you hit your third finisher. So basically, 1 finisher might not be enough to do it. 2 probably will. 3 definitely will. And for signatures, it's the same thing. 10, 30, and 50 though, because in real life, signatures really don't win you the match. in most cases. Some superstars, like, Sami Zayn has the Blue Thunder Bomb. He occasionally wins off of that. But for the most part, a signature like a 5-knuckle shuffle, that just should not win you a match. It's never going to be a pin. And also, the AI does have those sequences now, so they shouldn't really be going for pins after signatures for the most part. So maybe this actually isn't that big of a deal, but just in case, I put it to 10, 30, and 50, just in case, And it's the same for the AI, 30, 50, 70, 10, 30, 50. I don't change up anything for the pin minigame or a submission minigame. I think it's well balanced as is. And to finish things up, the special guest referee, same as last year, 100, 0, 100, 0, 60. This allows you as the user to actually play as a special guest referee and not really get kicked out, because you're getting a shitload of bonus for fair actions and no penalty basically for any unfair actions. So go hit your finisher on whoever you want. Go grab a chair, grab a table, do whatever you want to any superstar as a special guest ref, and you should be fine and good to go. And with that, those are, in my opinion, the best sliders you can get right now. They're my favorite set. Built them based off of what I had last year, then upgraded everything to what needed to be changed for this year. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.